Hey everybody, Jody Brown here, and I am super excited today to just share with you the top 5 mistakes that people tend to make when following and especially when starting the keto lifestyle. So, first of all, one of the biggest things that I see when talking to people is that they're not getting enough electrolytes. When you're following a ketogenic lifestyle, which if you don't know, that is a low carb, high fat, moderate protein nutrition plan. When you start following that plan, your body flushes a lot out of its system, especially and including electrolytes. So if you don't get enough electrolytes, there's a good chance you will fail because you won't feel good, you'll feel sluggish, not have the energy. You may get headaches, especially at first as your body is adjusting. You might notice those things more, but it's easily fixed. So you can get electrolytes through electrolyte tablets. You can get electrolytes through magnesium supplements, salting your foods with pink Himalayan salt, because when you're flushing your body, you're losing a lot of sodium. So we need to replenish that. So that pink Himalayan salt can help with that. As your fat cells start shrinking and flushing, you're losing that sodium. So get that back in your system. Get in the potassium with avocado, nuts. But even Powerade Zero or the little, the Mio drops, those even have certain ones have electrolytes in them. Just make sure you're getting enough electrolytes. If you start out on this nutrition plan and you notice from day one that you are feeling tired and that you have headaches, my first suggestion is to add more electrolytes. And if you're not adding any at all, get some. All right. Second thing, number 2 is not eating enough fat. So for so long, we have been programmed to think that fat is bad, but it's not, especially when consumed and used appropriately and in the right percentages with your other macros. And macros just being your fat, your proteins, and your carbs. So in a ketogenic lifestyle, fat is your primary source of fuel. Now your body is running on fat. You have to provide your body with enough of that fat for it to help your brain and help your body to function at its optimal best. So you do want to make sure that you are getting enough fat. Through the process of a ketogenic lifestyle, it can take a couple of weeks, but your body becomes fat adapted. And that just means that you are burning or have burned through all the glucose storage that is in your body, all of those stores that have been there. You're burning through that. Once that's gone through, once it's not there anymore, your body needs fat. So you've got to put it into your body so that that fat is there. So you don't need to be eating lean ground turkey or lean meat or beef. Get the higher fat beef. Get the cuts of steaks that have those fats. You don't need the lean cuts. Eat the oils and the olives and olive oil, those healthy fats that can really help to boost your fat intake, can also help to boost your brain and your body and the way it functions. So about 70 to 75% of your daily caloric intake should be from fats when following the ketogenic lifestyle. All right. Number 3, getting too much protein. Okay, so it's might be a little bit different than you might typically think, because so many plans out there focus on increasing protein, and you do need a moderate amount of protein. But a ketogenic lifestyle does not focus on high fats and high protein. It is high fats, moderate protein, and low carbs. If you pair too much protein with high fats and low carbs, your body actually forces your body to convert the protein into glucose and store it the same as if it were carbs. So you want to make sure that you have that balance appropriately so that you're not eating, low carb and your glucose storage is still the same or increasing, because that will keep you from getting into the state of ketosis, which the state of ketosis is just the metabolic state where your body begins to burn fat for fuel. All right, so too much protein can cause fat storage and insulin spikes. If you tend to eat a lot of meat, my suggestion is to make a meal that does not have any meat in it. So maybe a vegetable meal that has cheeses and cream cheese and butter, all of that cooked together would be good. I know that the past two that we talked about, two mistakes that people typically make when starting a ketogenic lifestyle: not getting enough fat or getting too much protein. That can seem like a lot. It can seem overwhelming. So my thought and suggestion is, if you have not already, use an app like Carb Manager app. That is one that a lot of people that I talk to really like and find user-friendly. You will then get to see an overview of the amount of each macro. So the amount of fats, the amount of carbs, and the amount of protein that you would need each day. And that helps you to balance it. This might not be something that you need for that long, but when you become more knowledgeable about what you're putting in your body, what you're putting in your system, and how all these calculations come out, you don't have to use it all the time. But my suggestion is to start off with using it, because it might be eye-opening to see exactly what you're consuming and making sure that you're getting those 70 to 75% of your daily caloric intake from fat, about 20% from protein, and 5% from your carbs. All right, we're on our fourth top mistake that people make when starting the ketogenic lifestyle. And this one's pretty basic and self-explanatory, but I want to go through it very, very quickly. It's not being patient. While your body is getting fat adapted, again, burning through all the glucose storage that you have so that fat becomes your primary fuel source, this can take a couple of weeks. And people tend to stop within 1 to 2 weeks because maybe they aren't feeling great. You can get side effects, what we call the keto flu, fatigue, we've talked about, headaches, your mood might be off. You might have weird breath, grogginess. Those things can stop people within those couple of weeks as that fat adaptation occurs. But guys, stick with it. Your body is shifting from burning carbs as a primary fuel source to burning fat for your primary fuel source. So you want to push through that. Stay patient with yourself. Allow your body the time to become fat adapted. Allow your body the time to get into that state of ketosis. If you're tired, that will go away. If you are hungry, most people really notice that will shift. If you have headaches, that will go away, but you have to be patient, and you have to know and understand that everyone's body is different. So what your next door neighbor, the length of time it might take them is different than what it might take you. So you just have to be patient. If you know that you're somebody who would give in to those side effects as something that might keep you from continuing and pursuing through the journey, if they continue for a couple of days or a week, or if you want something to help make that transition easier, exogenous ketones can help. They can help make that shift easier. They can help to take some of the side effects out of the equation while you're trying to get into this state of ketosis and fat adaptation. If you know that you're going to crave sugars, if you know you're going to have a hard time giving up those carbs, then the ketones might be something that you might find worth considering along your journey and as you get started. All right, number 5. So our last of our top 5 mistakes that people tend to make when getting started on a ketogenic lifestyle, and that is acknowledging hidden carbs. So most of your carbs on a ketogenic lifestyle are likely to come from your vegetables, but that doesn't mean that every vegetable is created equal in the carb world. Some have more carbs, some have less carbs. For example, we often recommend leafy greens. But just because broccoli is green doesn't mean that it's low in carbs. So again, that's where tracking, using an app, keeping up with your protein, fats, and carbs can really help you. So you start to really notice those hidden carbs and you start to see where they're coming from in your nutritional lifestyle for the day. You can start to learn about the things that you should maybe eliminate, maybe some things that you thought didn't have carbs and actually do. So you want to learn and adjust. You want to stay within that net carb ratio that is best for you. Again, read those food labels closely. If you're wondering when I just said net carbs, what that means, it's basically, in simplest terms, you take your total carbs and subtract your fiber. That's the simplest way to put it there. But again, tracking is going to help. Again, not saying you have to do it forever, but I think that that can be beneficial as you learn and adjust and your body gets used to this process. So those are the top 5 keto mistakes that people tend to make when starting with a ketogenic lifestyle. I hope that this has been helpful for you along your journey. Please reach out if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns. I'm here to help and support and help you feel and live your best life. Have a great day, everybody.